Hello, Annabel. We're going to take a look at your tonal still life drawing here. Starting off with the composition, you've got a nice, strong yet subtle little reversed V or pyramid shape happening through there. Um, this cast shadow helps reinforce that. We've got this nice little grouping over here. It helps to think about a still life drawing in an anthropomorphic way, like give it human traits. This little box seems to be hiding behind this big strong E over here that's the largest and centrally located there. Um, and this bottle on this side is even casting its shadow, which is sort of sets it up as the bad guy over there. Um, you've got some good dynamics here. Even your surface edges are at angles. This is at an angle. Your light source is creating this angled shadow here. Your E, however, is very flat there, but that sort of adds to its central and sort of calms down the angles there. So it works pretty well. Looking at our shape recognition, which includes our angles and proportions and things, you look to have a pretty good understanding of that. We can only see two angles here, but they are at least parallel. Remember to let those things get a little closer together. We can't see that third one back there. And looking at the E, there's a lot of receding parallel edges on this E. Most of them seem to be getting a little bit closer together, especially in here. But notice how this one and this one, they're getting further apart out there. You know, chances are we can't quite see this much of the top of the E. The easy fix there, given the angles, is that this angle is a little bit lower, and that's going to shave off some of that top of that E. But overall, pretty good with that. Looking at the ellipses on your cylindrical forms, remember the ellipses are going to get more pronounced at the bottom of there, and we have that working here a little bit. I don't think it's working here as well. We can't quite make out the lip of this bottle here. Looking at our light direction, it is consistently coming from the right side, moving across here. We can see our cast shadows. I would urge you to spend a little more time working on your cast shadows. They're kind of flat. You've got a nice edge happening in here, letting that diffuse. But notice how when we squint, this shadow just looks all the same. Maybe this looks sort of like an afterthought of a shadow back here. So shadows are just as important as everything else. Give them the love that they deserve. Looking a couple other things about light direction. If we look at this bottle, the light doesn't really seem to be affecting it, and the light is barely affecting this little cup over here. Notice when we squint at that, they look flat. Squinting at your drawing, not just at the setup, is key to being able to see, do I really have contrast happening here? Looking at your value range, it's reasonably full. We've certainly got a lot of lights, and we've got some darks, and we've got a few grays happening in between here. A couple of ways you could extend that value range. Let this background undulate a little bit. It's streaky, yes, but when we squint, it's mostly kind of the same gray. Let that change a little bit. Let it get really dark next to light things, and maybe when it's closer to a dark thing, it gets just a little bit lighter. It needs to happen in big areas, not just streaks or dabs. We could also do that with our table surface. If your light is over on this side, that means it's going to be brighter on the table surface over in here, and then it's going to fade out as it goes over here. So over here is not going to be as bright as over here. That's going to help your table surface lay down too a little bit more and extend that value range. All right, if you have any questions, Annabelle, please don't hesitate to ask. Overall, very nice work, and talk to you later.